Hi, I'm Clint Serber with Sakara Kayaks. Today I'm going to show you how to make a micro live bait well. A fun, inexpensive project that you can use in your kayak or while bait fishing. And for the first time ever, Sakara Kayaks is doing a giveaway. We're giving away the live micro bait well that we created on the show today. All you have to do to enter the contest is leave a comment. And as always, please like and subscribe. Alright, these are the things we need to get started on our live bait well, our micro live bait well. We have the Sharps Ashore, it's a blade disposal container, it's 1 gallon, kayak handle, 2 8/32 screws that have been cut down, and we'll go into cutting these screws down after this, an X-Acto knife, this stainless steel tie down, 2 screws to mount it. The Baby Bubbles portable air pump runs off of 1 or 2 AA batteries and is claimed to have a runtime of over 20 hours on 1 battery. And if you want, the minnow dip net. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is cut our screws down for our brackets and our handle. So in order to do that, you can see that screw is going to be just too long. We're going to have a washer backing it, but we're going to use 2 additional washers for a total of 3 washers to simulate the thickness of the plastic. And go ahead and thread the nut on. And at this point, we'll clamp this down, use a hacksaw, and we'll cut off the excess. Alright, as you can see, I'm using a spring clamp on a sawhorse to hold the bracket in the bolt assembly, and then we're going to use this hacksaw and just carefully cut behind the nut. And there you go. You'll be able to back the nut off, kept the threads clean, and you're left with a shorter screw. The kayak handle, the handle for our live bait well. We're going to do something a little different as far as cutting the screws down. You're going to want to cut out this last tab hole on each side of your handle with an X-Acto knife, or you can burn it out with a hot wire. We're going to take our screw, add the little beauty ring that the handle comes with, insert it, and we're going to add a washer. Be the washer that'll back this thing, and then we're going to add 2 washers to compensate for the plastic. Tighten that down. From this point, we're going to cut the excess off, clamp it down, and use our hacksaw. Now that we've got our kayak handle clamped down to the sawhorse, take our handy dandy hacksaw here and we'll cut off the excess length of the screw. Alright. There you go. And that nut will just back right off of there. And your screws are ready to go. And do it for the other side. Alright, let's start off by removing this lid. Little blade scrape off thingamajig. Use that later. We want to take our X-Acto knife, and this edge is a little sharp and it's hard to get your hand in there. So we'll take our X-Acto blade and we will cut that sharp edge out with our X-Acto knife. Now that we've smoothed out our opening, we're going to take this, and we obviously can't use it the way it is, so what we want to do is turn this thing over, and we want to use the X-Acto knife and follow this ridge all the way around, because we still want the ability to close the lid and snap this down. Now that we've got the center cut out of this with our X-Acto knife, we can go ahead pop this ring back on. Now we have a lid that closes and enough room to get your hand in. So let's go ahead and mock up our handle. I'm going to mark about where it goes. I'm going to go about the center right here of this top piece. So we'll get a Sharpie to mark this bracket. So I'm going to line the top of the bracket up with kind of the top edge of this. Make a little mark there. And we're going to do the same on this side. Eyeball this center. Alright, we got our marks. And we're going to use a 5/32 drill bit. And we're going to tap our first hole on our mark. Ream it out a little bit. Spin it over and do the same on the other side. Alright. Now we can take our screw that we cut down earlier, add our little beauty ring to it, pop that into that guy, and we're going to insert it into the hole we just made. We're going to take our washer, place it in the back, get our nut, Get that going. Help from a little screwdriver. Now you can use some Loctite on this, but I don't think it'll be necessary. We can do the same thing on the other side. Take your cut down screw, add your beauty ring, insert it to your lower tab, press that into the hole. Add your washer on the back side. Followed by your nut. This is all 8/32. And there you go. Now you got a carry handle and a lid to your micro live bait well. Alright, now we're going to install our Baby Bubbles aerator portable air pump mount. We're going to use this stainless steel bracket right here. You can mount this anywhere you want. I'm going to mount it here. So you have forward access of the button up here. It'll clip right down there like so. So, take our Sharpie. And again, I'm just going to eyeball this straight. Got one. And two. All right. With the same 5/32 drill bit, put our first hole in. Take a look at this. All right. And then our second one. All right, open it up, install our chop down screw into the hole, punch it through, add our washer, and our nut. Add the screw to the other side. Alright, now we got our bracket installed. Our Baby Bubbles will clip here on the side. You'll have your air tube. Comes with your Baby Bubbles. we're going to want to run this tube from your baby bubbles directly into your live well. So it'll provide the aeration to keep your bait alive. Alright, so now we're gonna drill a hole with the 7/32 drill bit. We're gonna want to come right here through the side in the base, top base of this handle. That's where we're gonna run our air hose. All right, now we need to run our air hose. Best thing to do is to remove the bubbler stone from the tubing. All right, we're gonna want to sneak this hose into our hole here. Turn this around, look inside, you can see where it's coming out through this top side of that handle. Reach in there, pull some of the slack out. Not too much slack, as you still want your tube to reach. You don't want too much hose sticking out. There we go. Now if you look back in here, you see where the tube's coming from. We can actually snake that tube back down the inside of that handle to get most of this tubing out of the way. Take this guy, turn it around, start feeding it back through the handle up here. Here we go. I got a clear shot down that handle. Now we can reattach our bubbler stone. And there you go. Micro live bait well. Alright, so one thing I've decided to do is this hose is pretty long. I'm going to trim some of this hose off and then reattach the stone bubbler. Figure probably to right about there. All right, and there you go. Now let's fill it up and see what it looks like with water in it. All right, so there we are with the baby bubbler bubbling. See the aeration action happening inside. Let's have your minnow dip net. If you can't get your hand in, scoop them out with your minnow dip net. But that's it in a nutshell. Quick, easy, very inexpensive. Use it on your kayak. Use it bank fishing.